before we begin here, one of the things that I want to bring up, I want to make sure that you have Node installed, and I want to make sure that you have TSX installed. So Node is basically a way that's going to allow you to write TypeScript code and run it on your computer. So if you do not have Node installed, we're going to have the link for Node installation so that you can make sure that you are all up to speed here. We'll make sure to include all the instructions that you need for this. You can see it's very easy depending on what operating system, whether you're on Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. There's instructions for all of these. So you can just go ahead and run whatever code that you find here, right here in your terminal. And that should get you Node all set up. You may already have Node set up on your computer. I suspect most of you probably have Node set up, especially if you've been using some of our other courses. So you probably are covered, but just want to make sure that you are aware that this is possible issues. So if you run into issues, it may just be that you don't have Node installed. And then once you have Node installed, we need to make sure that you have TSX installed on your computer globally. This stands for TypeScript Execute. This is the way that we're going to be writing most of our code, we're going to be writing most of our code in TypeScript, and we're going to be using TSX to run that code. So you can see in the getting started and the quick start here, all of these commands kind of start with TSX and then some sort of file path. That's what we're going to be doing in our course here to run a bunch of our code. So if you don't have this installed, it's obviously not going to work. So I want to make sure I flag this as well. So step 1 is getting Node set up. Step 2 is getting TSX set up. We'll have the links for all of this below, but the one you really are going to want to pay attention to is this global installation here. You're going to want to make sure that you have run npm install -g. This is the global flag, and this is going to install TypeScript Execute on your computer. So then anytime in our course where we use TSX, where we do a TSX, say we're running some sort of agent and the file is called like agent.ts, we'll do TSX agent.ts, and that will run our code. Okay. So these two things are absolutely essential for you to actually be able to follow along with the course. If you don't have either of these, you're not going to have a great time. You can get around it by using something like Replit, if you're familiar with that. Replit is a great service that kind of handles all of this for you and abstracts away the complexity so that you can just worry about writing and running code. But I do recommend that you get these things on your computer. It's very helpful to be able to have access to be able to run code on your computer if for some reason maybe you don't have internet access or something. So this is how we're going to be working in the course. Make sure you get both of these two things installed before moving on.